Always seems to go this way. I go out to golf and I missed a ton of stuff. So we're back and we're going to make a video on this tonight as well. I do have another video out already today. So unfortunately, that's not great for the YouTube algorithm, but that's fine. Blizzard has announced a Dragonflight dungeon level squish. Fucking perfect. I mean, that's literally what I recommended to do. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's read more, obviously. No, that's it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. As a part of the ongoing development of Dragonflight, the development team identified 3 issues to address based on community feedback regarding the dungeon system as it is. Heroic dungeons are barely distinct from normal dungeons at max level, and that distinction mostly only matters during a first few days after players reach max level. And literally, like, we're talking about launch, like, of the expansion. After that, nobody cares about those. Mythic Zero dungeons rapidly lose relevance a few weeks into expansion once the Mythic Plus season starts, with occasional exceptions for the weekly event quest. And this is also, maybe they'll go on to say more here, but what they're also not saying is not only do they lose relevance, they also confuse the hell out of people, because now the Mythic Zero dungeons are not even the things that you do for Mythic Plus, which is a terrible, terrible, terrible system. So anyway, the only truly endgame dungeon mode is Mythic Plus, and currently revolves around a timer. That means that other than new mega dungeons, there isn't really a place for endgame players who enjoy a more methodical dungeon pacing and gameplay. Given the combination of the two underlying difficulties and a gap in meeting player demands, we're restructuring dungeon difficulty and rewards in Season 4. Heroic difficulty and rewards will move up to roughly the current level of Mythic Zero. Heroic dungeon is going up to Mythic Zero. These dungeons will remain available to queue via the group finder, though the item level requirement to queue will also go up accordingly. Okay. Mythic Zero difficulty and rewards will move up to roughly the current level of Mythic 10. This is a bit hand-wavy numerically. It's close to 10, but not having a timer at all or fixes really offsets that quite a bit. Yeah, okay, so that's why they're saying 8 to 10. So this is already how the Mega Dungeon works, guys. If you've never seen it, the Mega Dungeon, when it was out, it gave, about the equivalent of Mythic Plus 10 gear. And then obviously, people said it was hard. I never actually did it on Mythic Zero. So they're basically just going to tune that to that level. The existing Mythic Plus system will pick up where that leaves off, such that a Mythic 5 in Season 4 is roughly equivalent in difficulty, rewards, and rating to a 15 today. Fucking exactly what I told him. Wow. Literally exactly what I requested. This is awesome. And the reason it's awesome is because it's going to make it so you're not spending like 6 hours of gameplay before you even get to any hard content. You're going to go into a 5 and it's going to be the equivalent of a 15. So if you got an upgraded from a 2 to a 5, you're already doing hard content. So literally one key in and you're already doing hard content. Now, some detraction to that concept was people were saying people are not going to continue doing hard content. Now, I don't think a 2, if it's linear in this way, and a 2 is just the equivalent to a 12, I mean, a 12 is still really easy. So I don't think like people are just going to get gassed out here. But because Mythic Zero is also getting brought up, like I don't know who loses here. I really don't. I at first glance, it sounds amazing. Here's a visualization of the change. Light blue circles represent where new affixes appear, going from 2, 7, 14 in the current world to 2, 5, and 10 in the new one. Another great change. That's even better. That's an even better change. Compressing all of this. Okay, I don't really I don't do well with that kind of stuff, but that's cool, I guess. No timer like the present. So I think this is what the other article is, right? Yeah, okay. All right, Season 4 changes will apply to all 8 Dragonflight dungeons. As a part of these adjustments, we have a few goals in mind. Recalibrate core difficulties to align with seasonal player experience and progression. Is that what they're already doing? Like, are these like 2 separate blue posts? I don't really... Serve the community who enjoys dungeon content but feels that Mythic Plus isn't for them due to the pressure of taking part. The pressures of taking part. I'm going to tell you right now, if you feel too pressured to take part in a Mythic Plus 2, you're not going to like a 0 either. But anyway, create a better environment in Mythic Dungeons to prepare more players to take part in Mythic Plus. They listened. Wow. It's like they literally listened to exactly what I gave feedback on. That is so great to see this. So great to see this. Were other people saying this? Am I like crazy, or am I the only person saying this? I feel like I'm the only person I've heard saying this. There's even a lot of people who disagree with me in my own video on it. This is exactly what I recommended. A better environment in Mythic Plus dungeons to prepare more players to take part in Mythic Plus. This is fucking perfect. Wow. Just to hear those words out of their mouths, like, oh my God, they actually understand the problem. One of the most notable changes players can look forward to is the removal of the timer for Mythic Keystone dungeons for what are currently 0 and 10. What does that mean? Players can run through these dungeons at their own pace without the need to watch the clock while still honing their skills. Keystone dungeons for what are currently 0 and 10. I don't understand what that means. Here's a look at the changes for each difficulty. Normal. This difficulty is unchanged. Thanks for putting that on the post. Heroic. The tuning and rewards of this difficulty are increased to be equivalent to a baseline Mythic 0 dungeon in the current system. Okay. Mythic difficulty changes and mechanics will not be present in this difficulty. This remains a queuable experience. Okay, so that does nothing. I don't really care about that, but they should do that because, normal and heroic are basically the exact same difficulty. Then we have Mythic, that's 0. The tuning and rewards have been increased to the equivalent of a +10 dungeon with the affixes in the current system. There are no timers, affixes, or limitations on changing specializations or talents while in the dungeon. So this is just how Mythic 0 works. The goal is to create a mega dungeon-like difficulty for this experience. The difficulty should present a meaningful challenge and will provide commensurate rewards without the pressures of the current Mythic Plus system. Outstanding. Mythic 0 is still on a weekly... Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that part. But so you basically have 8 mega dungeons now. And then, actually, I guess you have 10, right? Because I assume they're going to scale up. Let's keep reading because I know there's more. Mythic Plus. The Mythic Plus system will have rewards up to level 10. Okay, so basically instead of a 20 as the max reward, it's now going to be 10. So that means we'd be roughly doing probably 12s as our keys now after this squish. I assume everything's going to be squished by half. So instead of 25s, we'd be doing like a 13 maybe. With a +2 starting from what would regularly be an 11 in the current Mythic Plus system. And the rewards at this point, I guess this is for season 4 only. So yeah, no, this is good. So we do need to care about this. A 5 should be as hard as a 15, and a 10 should be as hard as a 20 in the current Mythic system. Okay. So if that's like flat out how it's going to work, then yeah, we should be doing like 13-ish. That's all. I fucking love that. That sounds great. Honestly, it sounds so much better. Oh, people are doing 32s, lol. A dungeon rating should be equivalent to what they represent in the current system. Equivalent to what they represent in the current system. That doesn't make any sense. So you mean like it's going to be like almost impossible to get Keystone Hero again? Or does that mean like it's going to get squished by half? There should be a smaller range of keystone levels to find group 4 and more meaningful progression between each level. And that is like to write those words. That's what I would have written. If you asked me what should change, I would say there should be a smaller range of keystone levels to find groups 4 and more meaningful progression. That's exactly what I would have written. I mean, other than I guess the find groups 4, I don't really care about that. That's actually kind of a cool change though, because it's going to mean like everybody is now doing like theoretically you should like care more about doing a 10. You know what I mean? Like right now, like considering doing a 20 as a 25 player is like, nah, I don't even think about it. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. To the victor goes the spoils. It's important to note that the basic structure of dungeon rewards is not changing significantly. So yeah, basically everything's just getting squished. The whole thing could have just been they're squishing it by half. Crest and Flightstone rewards are changing to match the difficulty with some minor adjustments. Flightstone's earning for any Mythic Plus will match the equally challenging Mythic Plus from previous seasons. That means Mythic 2 in Season 4 will give the same number of Flightstones as a 12. Okay. The rewards will continue to match difficulty even if what we're calling those difficulties changes. Okay. So it's basically like tied to the difficulty. So now that we see that, that should mean that the score is... That's going to be weird though. Does that mean you're going to get way more score per dungeon? You're going to get twice as much score per dungeon. Is that how it's going to work? If so, we're going to have to change our spreadsheet. Huh? We'll figure that out on the fly, I guess. Bonus Flightstones award, that's unchanged. Whelpling Crest no longer available for Mythic Plus dungeons as those difficulties no longer exist. Oh, that's interesting. Players will now earn 10 Drake Crest on successful completion of a 0 as there is no timer to beat. Worm Crest will be available in 2 through 5. In Aspect Crest 6 and up. I mean, I guess that's not really changed, but... Okay, so where's the post about? This post has... In today's blog... So let's read this. So they also have announced... Wait, what? I thought they announced the dungeons too. Maybe I misread this. In today's blog, Blizzard revealed that the difficulty changes are applying to all Dragonflight dungeons, meaning that the 8 Dragonflight dungeons are part of the rotation. Okay, so that confirms that we have all 8 dungeons. I don't know if that does that, to be honest. I think that Blizzard. Do you think they would have said that? I feel like, I guess they are saying that. I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I'm a little torn on this. But if so, then that confirms what everybody expected. But does that confirm that the mega dungeon be? Come on, just tell us the fucking. I don't think Blizzard has announced that the dungeons are this. I don't really feel like that. But I guess they have to be, right? I can't, like, my head just won't grasp this. They have to be, considering this is the case. And so if this is true, like if these two things are equivalent, does that mean that they're not going to do rotating dungeons anymore? I don't know. That means that. I don't really think this means that. Like, I don't think the Mythic 0 being the equivalent of an old Mythic plus 10 means that Mythic plus 12 has to be that exact same dungeon. I don't think that means that. I think Wowhead is making a guess on this, and they're probably right, because this is what everybody's expecting it to be. I would really like this if this is what is the case, but I don't think it's guaranteed, because they're just completely discounting the fact that the actual mega dungeon is going to be in this loop too, right? Or they just not? Do they say that? Did they say they're not going to scale the mega dungeon? I don't. I have no idea. 10 dungeons, maybe. Who? I can't even figure that out right now. So anyway, honestly, a lot of, like, I'm reading like Discord comments. I don't know, like, people just didn't read it. I guess a lot of people just were really confused by this, because this really doesn't change. This doesn't really seem like it changes anything. So, other than the fact that everything's scaled and now going to be better tuned, I don't think anything changes at all. So that seems great to me. This is exactly what I wanted. We actually, like, literally gave direct feedback on this, and it literally got implemented as I expected it to be implemented. This is exactly what I asked for. I've never seen this happen. 20 years of playing WoW. Something that I really want to see happen exactly get happened that way. So, hey, fucking awesome. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, this video will reach people, even though I got 2 videos out today. But let me know what you guys think, man. This is pretty cool. And do you think this confirms, like, what are you seeing on this? Are you guys seeing that too? Maybe you're agreeing. Oh, wait. I guess maybe it's not. I don't know. See, like, they're trying to, like, they're trying to, like, assume it. Fixes are still coming back in season 4. Yeah, no shit, dude. New adjustments to dungeons. But that's not all. Blizzard's announced new adjustments to dungeons as well. Does that mean that just tuning, or are there other plans for these dungeons as well? Brings with it a variety of changes, including new adjustments to dungeon, their progression, and rewards. I think, again, Wowhead's. I feel like Wowhead's just, like, really baiting. Like, I mean, do you read that and think, like, oh, new adjustments to dungeons? Yeah, no shit, dude. They're gonna scale them all up. That's literally what the poster's about. I think that's just them saying that they're changing the dungeons, not anything else. Who knows? Maybe there's more to come. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.